You have a list of things you know you need to do. It's sitting right there in your mind, but instead of doing it, you find yourself staring at your phone, scrolling through videos you don't even care about, feeling a slow, heavy guilt build up in your stomach. You tell yourself you're just lazy. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. Most people think sloth is just about avoiding work. They picture someone lying on a couch doing nothing. But in psychology, sloth looks very different. It's not a lack of movement, it's a paralysis of the will. It's the ultimate form of self-sabotage, disguised as comfort. So let's jump in. Think of sloth as an emotional shield. When we avoid a task, it's rarely because we are physically tired. It's because that task triggers an uncomfortable emotion, like anxiety, fear of failure, or overwhelming pressure. Psychologists call this emotional procrastination. Your brain hates discomfort. So when you face a difficult project or a hard conversation, your brain looks for the nearest emergency exit. It chooses the short-term relief of doing nothing over the long-term benefit of getting it done. The trap is that sloth promises peace, but it only delivers anxiety. The longer you avoid the thing you need to do, the heavier it becomes. There is a biological reason why you get stuck in this loop. It's a battle between two parts of your brain. You have the limbic system, the ancient emotional part of your brain that wants immediate gratification. Second, you have the prefrontal cortex, the logical part that plans for the future. So when you are stressed or tired, your prefrontal cortex loses power. The limbic system takes over and you default to the easiest possible option. Sloth is what happens when your brain enters survival mode in a world that requires active growth. You aren't lazy. Your brain is just exhausted from trying to protect you from discomfort. The real danger of sloth isn't that you miss deadlines or ruin your schedule. It's that every time you delay, you break a promise to yourself. Every time you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow and then don't, you signal to your subconscious that your word doesn't matter. You start to view yourself as someone who can't get things done. Sloth doesn't kill your dreams in one loud crash. It burns them away slowly, one "I'll do it later" at a time. It turns active creators into passive observers of their own lives. So, how do we master the sin of sloth? First, lower the bar to the floor. The biggest mistake we make is thinking we need to finish the whole project today. That thought creates anxiety. Use the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself you're only going to work on the task for 5 minutes. If you want to stop after 5 minutes, you can. 90% of the time, the hardest part is just crossing the starting line. Once you start, momentum takes over. Second, forgive the past. Studies show that students who forgive themselves for procrastination on a previous exam are much less likely to procrastinate on the next one. If you waste a morning on your phone, don't beat yourself up. The guilt just creates more stress, which drives you right back into the arms of sloth. Reset, take a breath, and focus entirely on the next hour. Third, make action cheaper than inaction. If your guitar is packed away in a closet, you won't play it. If your laptop is buried under papers, you won't write. Set up your environment so that the good habit is the easiest option. And put your phone in another room so that the bad habit requires actual effort. Quick recap. So, to wrap this up, sloth isn't laziness. It's an emotional shield against anxiety. It destroys your self-trust every time you break a promise to yourself. You don't need motivation to start. You need to lower the bar so low that it's impossible to fail. Breaking the spell of comfort isn't about becoming a machine. It's about respecting yourself enough to show up even when it's hard. But there's a dark side to this. Sometimes when we finally break out of the paralysis, we swing too far to the opposite extreme. We try to consume, achieve, and absorb everything all at once to make up for the lost time. If you want to understand how that relentless hunger can swallow us whole, watch my video on lust right here. I'm curious, what is the one task on your list right now that you have been putting off all week? Let's talk about it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.